And you're letting go. Shakti. Namaste. My name is Kirk Kerber. I'm one of New York City's top verified, rated, world-class psychics, spiritual advisors, trauma therapists for PTSD, hypnotherapist, certified, and pro mentor to a world-class clientele. And today's video is going to be called Psychic Talk. And so if you watch my other videos, you know this is a long, unfocused, unedited, rambling talk about being a medium, psychic medium, spiritual medium. Shakti, Shakti. Okay. Pentacle around the crown. Heart chakra on the sides. And then, you know, you're going to have some, so this is white sage. You're going to have like a cool incense burner. This thing is badass, right? Look at that. So you get your sexy, witchy. Here's my tattoos. I got Mr. Fox here, Lady Fox, and I've got, this is a stag, a deer, because the deer was the Buddha's favorite animal, and when he had enlightenment, he had it in a park full of deers. So the deer is the sacred animal to the Buddha. Oh, Shakti, Shakti, Namaste. Okay. Psychic talk. I'm just waking up. So I've got a couple videos. Some are in the middle of the night. Some are just waking up with breakfast. And, yeah, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to look perfect. You don't have to be perfect to get what you want. You don't. You have to be focused. You have to be clear. And the same day you plant the seeds is not the same day you get the fruit. Okay. And you're letting go. So let's just get into our bodies. The year is 2022. This is Hell's Kitchen, New York City. And I am teaching you how to be a medium and the finer points of being a psychic medium and what being psychic is and what it's not. So why don't we just find the stillness, find the sacred place within that can never be violated, okay? So there is a space inside of you. I know a lot of people that are going to be attracted to these videos probably had, you know, like a really hardcore, chaotic childhood. And it seems like the people with an unbelievably intense childhood and a lot of traumas, their psychic receptors open up. And you know, I'm not going to say it's ever God's will for somebody to be traumatized or abused. There's a saying in recovery. I'm also in recovery 38 years. There's a saying in recovery that we all had the same childhood. Oh, So it's January and it's 20 degrees outside. Let's just take a deep breath. We're just going to get into this time zone, into this reality. So I want you to call all of your energy into the divine now. And you're going to come into a meditation with me. What you're going to do is call back your love, light, your magic, your energy, and you're going to put it all in present time around your body. What happens is when you've been traumatized, your limbic system and your brain is on high alert and it doesn't snap out of it. And so whatever happened was so unimaginable that we toss it into our subconscious, and then we put up a firewall, and then we put up a mask. This happened to everybody. So as a therapist for PTSD, you need to go in there, and in the 70s and 80s, they would go back into the original trauma. Like, most of the time, there's more than one. There's multiple traumas. There's decades of living in trauma. And so it's not one specific event, but they used to say, we're going to visit the trauma. We're going to put you in therapeutic trance, hypnotic trance, and then we're going to show you the trauma, and then we're going to walk you out of it. And they don't do that anymore because what they found was it just traumatizes the person all over again. And they thought it through in steps 1, 2, and 3. You know, get them in a trance. Okay, we're going to bring you back to the trauma. Now we're going to take you out of it and tell us what happened, how you feel. There's like 3 other steps that you need to walk the person out of that trance and calm their entire nervous system, energetic system, and also it's like opening a jar, releasing the pain and the fear. So you're a victim, and it's a trauma. It turns into PTSD because you were powerless to leave. It's like literally like parts of you are frozen and you're trying to unfreeze them and unstick them and unstuck them. And you can't seem to do it. So the therapy that is being created, streamlined now is we just go in and we put you in a hypnotic trance, and then we say, the year is 2022, and we want your body and your limbic system to relax. And so we relax you in the present time and tell you that you're safe. And then that backlogs, so to speak, all the traumas, like you survived. The thing about the PTSD is there's just still a part of you that's just stuck back there. You were a victim. You could not get away. And in the case of like sexual abuse, physical abuse, the parents are addicts. You're stuck there as a 7-year-old. There's no food. You know, just scenarios like that. What's going on? How does it feel? Because at the time it was happening, you could not process. You knew you were in trouble as a 10-year-old or however old you were. You know, if it's just one incident or decades of living with chaos and dysfunction and abuse and the ism of the alcoholism and addiction. Plus, if you're like gay or you have any kind of like different shit like that going on, the kids would smell it on you and just attack you. A lot of bullying. And so, you know, if you're watching this, you probably just like held on, like white knuckled it. I'm going to get away. But then you start having nightmares. You start sabotaging yourself. And you think, I'm going to get this, and then everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get this figure in my bank account. And then I'll get away from it all, and it'll all be okay. And it doesn't work that way. You got to go in and address it energetically, mentally, psychically, and spiritually. And then if you're going to revisit the trauma, then you have to tell that 9-year-old, like, it's okay, you're safe now. You got to go in there and you got to walk them out very gently. So it's hardcore energetics. Okay, so that's that. But, so this is a long, rambling, unfocused kind of just, we're just going to have a chat and talk and about being a healer. How do you become a master healer? I'm addressing that in every video. I still haven't answered the 20 questions for a psychic medium. It's coming. I did the whole video for an entire hour, and I answered all the questions. And then for some reason the sound was fucked up and I couldn't download the video because it wasn't watchable. So I don't know what Spirit has in mind for that. I don't know what's going on with that. I have on my altar here a rose quartz. When I got sober, people were like, oh, get some rose quartz. It heals the alcoholic. Rose quartz. It's supposed to heal your heart. So this is like an awesome heart of rose quartz. Most of the people I know that are like really 5-star, insanely gifted, psychic mediums, and true healers, wounded healers. A lot of you are wounded healers. You're a healer, but you're also wounded. So simultaneously, you're helping people, and you're a healer, and you've opened up a website. Now, there's a lot of different types of healing. Like a poet is a form of a healer. A teacher is a type of healer. A veterinarian is a healer. So really, I mean, it's not just people that are giving you Reiki that are healers. You know what I'm saying? People that are readers, psychics, mystics, anybody trying to provide insight, wisdom, knowledge, entertainment. Those are all types of healers. So healers are really everywhere. We have an incredible world culture of music, poetry, and art and film. And that's... Sorry I'm unfocused. I'm just trying to find the thread. So as a channeler, people are going to come to me and they're going to go, I want a channeling, I want a tarot reading, I want a mediumship hour with you, Kirk Kerber, and let me finish the other thought. So most healers that I know that are like new age hardcore healers, they're wounded healers. Healers are really born. if you're just in that field of like my type of industry, giving a reading is a type of healing, you know? So you have to make up your mind first and foremost to set the foundation that you're a healer. So there's people giving readings, there's people doing astrology, and they don't really look at themselves as healers, even though what they do is expanding the person. If your heart is right and you have the gift, and you've streamlined it your entire life, those are the people you're looking for. You're looking for somebody in their 50s. They were wounded. They healed the wound. They're in the process of healing and clearing. And here's the other thing, master the basics. You're always going to be clearing. So stop trying to be perfect, because you're never going to reach a point of purity. You're just not. We're in a sea of desire and pain, and sexuality is everywhere. You turn on the TV, any kind of media is saturated with drama and corruption and desire and violence and sex. So that's the mix of the psychic riot that you're in. So you're not going to achieve purity in the midst of that. You're not. Don't even try to do that. That's not the thing to do. It's to clear and be present, and then just get the channel clear and perform. So you're looking more for, instead of perfection and purity, you're looking for clarity. And the reason I say this is because when you're like always in a point in the future, like I'm going to get cleared, I'm going to get pure, I'm going to get perfect, like you're always grasping for some future thing, and the gold is now. You know what I mean? The gold is just right here, right now. There is no there to get to. There's only like right now. Shakti Namaste. So there's only now. If you want to be the most powerful, a lot of people, they're kind of mildly mediocre, gifted, talented people, and they want power. They want psychic power. They want spiritual power. You know, you should really want knowledge. Knowledge is power, and wisdom is power. So when you're going to a psychic, you really want a psychic, an old soul psychic that's probably walked out of their own trauma, is going to walk you out of your trauma, not going to trigger your trauma, and has some wisdom, knowledge, and then is also unbelievably gifted. So that would be a real trifecta. Wisdom, knowledge, and then streamlined, seasoned reader that you just, you've lived your life. You have life experience. You have perspective. I don't know how many readings I have given at this point. Like, I don't know, thousands. I've been reading for almost 40 years. And I went right to the tarot. I didn't, you know, a lot of people, they go right to astrology. And I didn't go to astrology. Because I'm more visual and more sentient, I went right to the tarot. It was perfect for me. You know, I'm a visual artist. And by the way, here's my friend Goliath. He's got these cards. So this is on my altar. Look at this, the shaman. See the resemblance? What happens when you get abused like that? It rips a hole in your space-time continuum, so to speak. And when that happens, then all of these parts of your brain get lit up. and you're in this state of psychic knowing. So the clients that come to me, a lot of them were like, had their head split open. That's like a common indicator of a witch, a witchy person, a wounded healer, unbelievably crazy, insane, gifted. I was given all psychic gifts, but I also have compounded psychic, spiritual, and sexual trauma repeatedly. Like, it's a miracle that I'm alive. And when I talk in my recovery, I usually say, I'm a walking miracle. If you've never seen a miracle, I am the incarnation of a walking miracle. If you put all the facts on paper about what happened the first 25 years. Let me see, I got sober at 24. Oh, God, boo-boo. Because I had to. So, yeah. If you put all the facts on a piece of paper, stay on target here, focus, you would say there's no way this person's alive, insane. And if that person is alive, they probably don't get out of bed, and they're probably bitter as fuck. No, just shake it off. Next parasite, shake it off. Just shake it. It's another parasite. This person's a parasite. Next parasite. My first teacher showed up after I was about 30 days sober. She showed up, a friend of mine from college said, you got to meet this woman. She's psychic. She makes her living being a psychic. You just got to talk to her. She became my first mentor and my first teacher. Oh, she was like, Kirk, you have all psychic gifts that a person can have. I didn't believe it. I was like, I got cast as the, the person that's an idiot, can't do anything, because I was like operating in 9 dimensions. My bandwidth is like, like their bandwidth is only like that much, you know what I mean? And they operate in the material world, and they're going to collect cash and prizes. And I think cash and prizes are great. You know what I mean? It depends on the plan you walked in with, your soul plan. It just depends. I mean, look at Warren Buffett. Before the internet, this guy, Warren Buffett, he owns Coca-Cola right now, among other things, Berkshire Hathaway. When he was like 9, he somehow figured out that he wanted to invest money in the stock market when he was 9 years old, and he went to his parents and he said, here's $100. I want to buy this stock. So people like that, they're only going to be working with money. That's what Warren Buffett walked in to do. He walked in with that plan. That doesn't just happen. And it makes perfect sense. So people like me, I had my first meditation experience when I was like 10 years old. I just found this candle, and I went in the side of our house where I had a fort, and I lit the candle, and I just sat there and stared at it, and I went into a deep meditation at 10 years old. There was no internet. You know what I'm saying? There was no like, I'm a triple threat because, I was reading mentor books, business books, books that have to do with wisdom and knowledge and self-help. Those are the books I was reading when I was like 10 and 12 years old. I went automatically to the psychology section, and I started picking out these self-help books. Then by the time I was like 15, I was a full-blown coke addict, trying to medicate the psychic, trauma. You know, there's people that, I mean, I can clear like your birth trauma. There's people that have said, you know, just the birth trauma is just enough to fuck you up the rest of your life. That separation from unconditional love, whatever your home dimension is, you know what I mean? Where you're comfortable, you're safe, this is your home. So we talk about the other side. There's like a million other dimensions. This is just one tiny little corner of the universe. There's 100 million billion other universes. So, you know, these people are like, he's an idiot. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't, you know. I wanted to devote my life to like snorting a lot of coke and being rich somehow and having a house in Malibu, which hasn't quite happened yet. I could still get the house in Malibu, but my main focus is to be what I am, to become what you are is your main focus. So the thing about trying to be perfect and trying to tell people you don't have an ego, I've healed my ego, you tame the ego, but it's like a dog. The ego is like a dog, and if it's not trained or tamed or subdued, it will just be a wild, feral, barking dog, and it doesn't have any training. You have to train a dog. And once you train the dog and the dog knows the rules, then the dog like has a healthy life. And if you don't train yourself and you're nothing but the id, which is below the belt, you're a wild person. And so I was kind of a wild man. I still kind of am like wild man, shaman. My energy is it's like really volatile, and but it's also streamlined. So, you know, most people are working in a 3 to 4 dimensional bandwidth, and that's it. And they succeed because they have like one of 3 choices. Okay, I'll take choice number B. I'm going to stay in that lane, and they just stay in that lane. And so they get cash and prizes. I don't know. Does that... Cash and prizes, it brings comfort, and you can bring joy to people's lives with money. Absolutely. You can do like great things with a lot of money. So money's not bad. It just depends on what you walked in with, what you want to learn. You know, your soul plan before your birth is like, think of it like a travel itinerary. You're going to set certain things up. You're going to be at certain places at certain times with certain people. But then there is this gray area of where you set up all the circumstances and then it's ready, set, go. Boom. Okay, it's on. Now, what are you going to do? You're in your body. You know your gender. You know your sexuality. You know your circumstances, your parents, siblings, location. So the people around me in the 70s when I grew up, there is no way they could have ever... The people that I incarnated with, it was meant to be that way. I was kind of carrying the spirituality and the metaphysical knowledge of like 20 people because they disowned it. And I picked it up and I played that part in the family and wherever I was. So my bandwidth was like 9 dimensions. Now let's add some cocaine on top of that, and let's add some marijuana on top of that, and let's add a lot of alcohol on top of that, because I was medicating all those traumas, And I was also in the closet at this point, about what I don't even know. I was in the closet about being a psychic. I came out as gay. I think in today's world, these kids kind of have it easy, but I think it's harder to grow up now. I really do. With the internet and with the cell phone, I think it's harder. They grow up a lot faster. So I kind of liked it like there was no internet. You had your imagination, you had books. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's like 10-year-olds that are like multimillionaires. But like I said, that's their plan. So my plan was the ESP plan, the extrasensory shaman plan, to become an interdimensional person, and by all rights and everything that happened, there's no way that I could not be an old soul because of all the shit that I've like seen. All the people that have died, like all of my friends and the people I would go toward were like these really volatile, huge personalities, talented, beautiful people. And, you know, before 50, they all died and destroyed themselves with, you can get lost very easily in the material world. It's very easy to do. Everybody does it. That's called being an addict. You get lost, or a lot of people, they don't know how to heal the wound, and it goes in, the firewall comes up, and then it comes out as PTSD and or mental illness later. So I don't, people ask me, if you're a psychic medium, you don't believe in God, right? I mean, you must be an atheist. Of course I believe in God. God is everywhere. There's no place that God is not. So you want to be a master healer? Meditate on that for 40 days, 32 minutes. Master healer means, first of all, discipline. Okay, so you're not looking for purity. You're always going to purify. You're always going to be in a state of having a spiritual experience. There's no such thing as not having a spiritual experience. Every minute is a spiritual awakening. Every single minute. God is as close as your breath. God's love and light and intelligence is available to you. All paths lead to the divine, no matter what. Eventually, you might take 100 million lifetimes. There's no time on the other side. So, dimensions, worlds, universes are created by high-level avatars. And then, it's like an amusement park. You want to go to Disneyland, or do you want to go to Knott's Berry Farm, or do you want to go to Six Flags? And so then you look at what you want to do. There's some people, Edgar Cayce says that each soul is created for a specific purpose. So supposedly, if you believe Edgar Cayce, then, the Kirk Kerber was created. I'm the wild card. In any given situation, even, I have suits, I have ties, I like to wear suits when I work. And, I tame the hair and get a haircut that looks normal. I still walk into the room and I'm presenting as just another guy in a suit. But you can still, my energy is so unbelievably loud and huge and big that people will still turn around, even if I don't say anything. Like, so I cap it off. I mean, I kind of like, do you want to indicate what you are? Do you want to attract what you are, so to speak? Do you want to attract attention to your physical presence? People know when they come into my presence, they're not dealing with like a regular person. And for some people, they get really terrified of you and they attack. And other people will recognize you as an ascended angel and they'll like be in awe of you and almost like try to bow down to you. I'm also a triple Gemini with a Pisces rising, Scorpio in the 8th house. So, there's a lot going on over here. Like, it's just a lot. And they can feel it. Like, this is not a regular person. I went to a play. I went to see Fiddler on the Roof in the afternoon. The cheap seats. Orchestra on the side. And I walk in and everybody's like getting ready and getting into the theater. And I see this woman and I almost walked up to her and I was like, I was going to tell her, has anybody told you look exactly like Liza Minnelli? And I was like, no, that's a stupid thing. Don't say that. So sorry. Breakfast of Champions. Still ever the addict. Wake up with cigarettes and coffee. So no, it's not about purity. If you're trying for purity, your energy is going to be thrown all over the universe. And you're all going to be like still throwing your energy into some present time. So, what we have to deal with is walking through time, but be fully present in that moment. That's when you're the most powerful. If you're trying for purity or you think you're going to heal the wound completely in your soul, you're healing as a wounded healer so you can know how to heal other people. So the most powerful healer is the healed healer. So what you want to be is fully present and stop throwing your energy into a future time. When I get this, I'm going to be present. When I get everything the way I want it, then I'll be present. And that's really not the most effective. The most effective is I'm going to be present and then I'm going to create my life from present time. And then I will get the things that I want and have the experiences I want to have. So money can buy you those experiences. So money is a tool. Money is very good. It just doesn't always follow that a lot of money means a lot of happiness. A lot of times it doesn't. Ultimately, what you're looking for is impact. You know what I mean? You're looking to have impact and to be influential in whatever you do. Stay in one lane. So I've been giving psychic readings now over 35 years. I worked for free for 20 of those years. Yep. Anybody and everybody. I would just be like, like the massage therapist, they tell you while you're in school, you have to get free massages and then get feedback. And so I did that. And I was like, can I give you a reading? And some people are like, you're the devil, get away from me. And my Bible says you're evil, so I should try and kill you right now. I ran into that, I promise you. And other people were like, oh, this is going to be amusing, it's entertainment, tell my fortune. And then other people approached it, and this is a sacred thing. It was the only way I learned to read was to just constantly read for free. Do psychic mediumship for free. And, that's how I found the thread to tune into. And I would say, this is what I'm getting. And they were like, oh my God, it's totally on the money. Or, no, it's not. Or, kind of. So I just, over 20 years, streamlined how I read, the types of readings that come through that are germane to me, and that's past life, and reading this soul contract that you walk in with, the soul arc, a life reading. So this reading, is going to take you 3 to 6 months to absorb. It's going to reset your course and put you back on the beam of your soul plan. Here's what's coming up. So the true mystic, shaman, healer, you're working in 9 dimensions or more. You can see the past, present, and future all at once. So how you wrap your head around all that, I don't know. I try not to analyze it. The client gets in front of me. I've tuned into their energy before I get in the face-to-face. I ask them their birth name, their full name at birth. That will give me the energetic pattern that I need. If or when I hear their voice also gives me an energetic read that I can just start reading from that. The definitive term is to read. Okay, we give a reading. When you open a book, you can't judge a book by its cover. So you see the cover. The cover is their face, their voice, their eyes, their dress, how they're presenting physically. And then you have to open the book and see beyond that and look beyond that and read now the book. So you literally have to open their mind and read it. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm getting. Yes. Okay. And then the seasoned reader also gives wise counsel. So psychic medium, seasoned reader, and you want an old soul sage. So I've already lived 10 lifetimes, and I'm pretty sure it looks like it. Because I have the shaman hair. So my first teacher said, you're cramming 10 lifetimes into one. Guilty. So just the fact that I'm just sitting here in a body and I'm not really debilitated by any one thing or the other really is a testament to God and God's healing and God's light and God's angels. I do believe in angelic beings, and I tend to work with angels, so I absolutely believe in God. So God is everywhere, and you key into this auric field, or the morphic field. It's called the morphic field. It's the collective consciousness. So technically there's no secrets. And once you really get up to that level of where you can read, I'm a claircognizant knower, among other things. All of a sudden, whatever you're trying to read, everything just falls away and you know the answer. Boom. You just know things. The shaman has been called the knower, the one who knows, the person who knows, the man who knows, in my case. The shaman is the knower. That's the medicine person. Being a triple Gemini, yep, it's safe to say I'm a twin-spirited medicine person. Taken a vow to try and do good in this lifetime. Just try. You know what I mean? There's people that they don't want to do good and they don't care. And so they're fucked up witches and they're fucked up people doing fucked up things. And, we all know that person. they want power, and so instead of trying to heal their wound, they're really going to walk around and try and like rape you of your power. That's an unhealed person, and stay away from them. They will fucking destroy you, and they're poison. And the only thing they know how to do is just destroy other people, because that's what happened to them. And so some of us, and a lot of us, wake up and we realize that we're wounded, and we start trying to heal ourselves, and we start healing other people. So the point of the trauma, be it sexual, mental, psychic, spiritual, gender trauma, you know, I had a lot of gender wounding. Growing up a bisexual gay kid, I don't know, you know, I wasn't like the other kids. Oh, Jesus. So, you know, there's this bizarre dichotomy of like, you're supposed to do something perfect and wonderful and genius, and then every time you do something perfect, wonderful, and genius, you know, I was attacked. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to fit in and be like everybody else, but then you're supposed to stand out. And when you do stand out, then you get attacked and beaten up and pummeled to no end. And so it's this whole weird, bizarre, you know, it just creates frustration and rage. And if you're in frustration and rage in 2022, yep, you're about average. If you turn on the media and you make decisions about the world and your life, when you turn on the TV, you'll be debilitated. It's debilitating. 47 minutes. The commodity is time. We move through time. You got to be all of your energy, practice being present, and then heal your wounds. And there's a lot of different healers. You know, the people that are like put out there, like certain people, I'm a big healer and I'm going to heal you. I'm going to heal this. I'm going to heal that. They're kind of moderately powerful and moderately talented, and those are the dangerous people. They're dangerous because they're like, I'm a big healer. And then there's like old souls like me, where you sit on the bus and the universe sends you somebody to heal. You don't even want to heal them. You know what I mean? You don't want to give them a reading. You don't really interested in giving them a psychic message. The universe still sends you those people. Why? You're attracting people that need to be healed. Because of what you are. You know, so my view of the world and my lens and filter that I walked in with, I don't think anybody thought that I was going to live this long. And in fact, when I was drinking and taking drugs, they were like, he'll never make it till 30. Like, it's too much. He's not going to make it. So now I'm 38 years sober. And I've lived 10 lifetimes already, and I'm cursed with longevity. You know, like my lifeline is like unbelievably really deep and strong. Oh, I don't know. I think that's about it for today. Psychic Talk number 8, maybe. Shakti Namaste. So, a shamanic initiation takes about 20 years, 25 years, and most people don't survive it. They just don't. I don't know how I did. I've said in other videos, I'm just too dumb to die. Like, I would get up to the place where you're supposed to die, and I'd be like, Spirit guides, am I like dying today? Is this like the day? Like a normal person would just die now. And they're like, it's your choice. You can keep going. We'll put you back together. So they put me back together, like, and then in the crucible of that 20 years of you being ripped apart psychically and metaphorically and spiritually, you get put back together in a new form where you become super powerful, super conscious, super aware. Oh, and it's a heavy weight, but you've acclimated up to it. These kids now can go on the YouTube and see somebody like me and be like, he's like me. Just to see another person in their own authentic energy is a type of healing. You just, like I tell a lot of my clients, like they're like, what should I do as a healer? What do I need to do? Should I write a book? Should I do a podcast? And I'm like, well, technically there's nothing to do but just continue to be present, purify, but know that there's always going to be something to work on. And then you just tell the universe, like, I'm available to heal people, and they show up. Some people you're kind of like slated to work with no matter what. But when you channel, it takes like 25 years to find the right channel to be persistent and consistent in pursuing and streamlining your gifts. So you got all that going on, but stop trying to get to this place of like, I'm going to get perfect and it's going to be perfect. And that's when I can breathe and be happy. And you're throwing your consciousness all over the universe trying to look for something. And what you're looking for is right in your heart chakra. Humility, sincerity, authenticity. That's like, when you talk to like an old soul, everything just becomes like uber unbelievably simple in an infinitely complicated world. I go into a trance. I find the energy and vibration of the person, the client, the querent that you're reading for. And then you open the channel and you just let go and you say what. I don't believe you should give a reading unfiltered. Absolutely not. Because a seasoned reader is going to edit. It's not what you say, it's how you say it in a reading. And you should be getting other readings. You, as a reader, a medium, whatever you're doing, you should go to another astrologer. You should go to a tarot reader and see what it's like and remember what it's like to be on the other side. Because, I've had clients say, I knew you were psychic, but I didn't know you were going to be psychic. Like you could see everything. And I'm like, that's why you hired me. You hired me to take a look at everything and provide, loving, supportive feedback and present your choices to you. That's what a reading does. A reading presents the choices. Company A, company B. Should I go with this company, that company, this boyfriend, that boyfriend? Should I leave my husband? Tell me about my child that's causing me all these problems. All right, well, here's what's on the table with the cards. So the cards just indicate what you're already getting. It's just a double confirmation, and it's also a bit of theatrics to lay the table out. Here's this card. Here's that card. Where are my tarot cards? I have about like 20 decks. As I told you, my good buddy El Goliath created the El Goliath deck. And I use that deck. That deck is like heavy, hardcore, shamanic, deep, old soul, shamanic power, purify, cleansing, insight, I mean, that card is like not for newbies, that deck, at all. And rightfully so. You know, somebody finally took into account, you know, that old souls really that are not newbies anymore need a deck and need a book. And so El Goliath did this. It's his own artwork, and it's beautiful. And it's really, I'm just feel enlightened, you know. So if you haven't checked out El Goliath, he's easy to find on YouTube. And he's one of my kindred witchy buddies. So, okay, I have this deck. I can't remember. I got this on Etsy. It's called Tarot by 7, maybe. Shucks. And it's a Rider-Waite deck that's like colored like a smoky. This looks great on the table. So, you know, the cards really indicate what you were thinking. And then, you know, if the person, the client, the querent is in front of you, you lay a witchy table, you light the incense, you light the sage, and then you ask them. You can have like 1 to 3 questions max. 1 to 3 questions within, you know, one category. So I want a reading about work. Or you can say a general reading. So that's a past, present, and future. 3, 3, and 3. I don't use all these crazy spreads. Like there's literally books this thick on spreads. You know, the 12 moon spread, or the astrology spread, or the this, that, and the other thing. So I don't really do that. Past, present, and future. And I just throw cards. If there's something that needs to be clarified, I'll throw 3 cards on that for clarification. So the cards indicate archetypes, people we meet along the way. And then they just double validate what the channeling and the reading was in the first place. All right, let's leave it there. And thank you for waking up with me. Sorry for all the smoke. If you don't smoke or you don't like smoke or something. There's a lot of smoke over here in the temple. The temple always has a lot of smoke. So anyways, so that's it. Shakti, namaste. I hope you got something out of it. Watch my other vids. They're all over the internet. Daily Motion, Internet Archive, Vimeo, and YouTube. It's about 300 hours of just me rambling on and giving out some of the secrets, but not all the secrets. Shakti, namaste. Okay, I'll see you guys next time in the Cyber Temple of Love. Remember, it's not about power. It's about grace. Shakti, namaste.